My name is Ugo, founder of Pieces Studios, and this is Behind the Stitch with SSD.
So real quick, Ugo, tell us where you're going today.
Hat that I edited, but we should definitely see something like this from Pieces in a bit. Bottega sunglasses, no weapon chain, Pieces Project 214 iridescent print tee, a Leaks bracelet, some jewelry I also thrifted, Pieces double denims. I feel like I still have like a few more things to do to this, but like, you know, some samples and then some boots I thrifted as well.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Behind the Stitch. Today, I'm with one of my guys, the owner of Pieces, Ugo. What you saying, my bro?
What do you think?
Okay, so today, we got a few questions for him, you know, trying to get to know him, get the nitty-gritty about Pieces, right? So, how did you become the founder of Pieces?
I started it, you know, hand making denim,
Right.
and then it kind of just like
Went
built
from there.
into it, yeah.
Fair enough. How old is Pieces right now? Like, how long have you been at it?
Since I've been like, you know, putting out events and experiences, maybe like 3 years, 4 years.
Right.
But then since I made like the first set of jeans,
Yeah.
maybe 4+ years.
Oh, that's valid. Who is or who are your fashion influencers?
Fashion influencers or like fashion people that like fashion designers I like.
Whichever, like just people you look up to in the industry.
In terms of style, I like Bloody Osiris.
Wow.
I like, there's this artist, Tide Sterling. He's fly. I like, as far as designers goes,
Wow.
Raf Simons, Rick Owens, Martine Rose. You know, there's so much. There's so much inspiration to pull from, yeah.
So your materials, right, for your pieces, are they sourced locally or internationally?
It depends.
Right.
Different products. Some of them are sourced locally, some internationally, and then, you know, they might be assembled wherever I feel, you know, is the most competitive place.
Right.
So,
okay, so your denims, for instance, where are they sourced from?
it depends really.
Fair enough.
But I prefer to source denim from Japan or European countries because I feel like a lot of the denims, at least the new denims that they release out in Africa, they're a lot lighter because of our climate. You know, but I like the heavier stuff. You can like distress it. You can do all that extra stuff, and it looks good.
At what point will you say you've gotten to your peak? Like, at what point with your brand would you say, I'm at the peak of my career?
I'm definitely at the peak of my career.
Oh, definitely. But at what point, like, when you've reached what certain level, would you say you're at your peak?
I don't know, when I have like 10M pounds in my account.
Fair enough.
That's not even peaking, but as far as fashion goes, not even. Like, I don't know, maybe $1 billion when I get $1 billion in my account.
Yeah, I mean, that's valid, but that makes sense. So your brand, is it strictly streetwear, or should we expect to switch up later on?
I feel like, you know, recently I've been like looking on the streets and actually seeing a lot of inspirations that I pulled from like consciously or subconsciously. Yeah. And I'm realizing this is actually streetwear, you know, like in its purest form. But then I feel like there's still a luxurious like aspect of it, like a luxury streetwear caveat to it, you know, because at the end of the day, like the price points are not like regular streetwear price points. And I feel like the market that pays for this stuff understands the value, and, you know, they're not regular people.
Fair enough. I think there's a proper blend to it. Let's just leave it at that.
You feel me?
Yeah. What message do you hope people take away from your work and your brand?
Just to be confident, you know, like because a lot, like at the beginning, a lot of the reception was, not a lot, but at least the people who were not like the market I was like chasing, the reception was, oh, it's a bit too much for me, etc. And that's okay. Right. But then I would like, you know, people who wear my stuff to feel most confident in themselves with or without the garms. But then with the garms, it's like elevated, you know.
So your thing is just be comfortable in your style, and when you wear my stuff, you should feel that type of extra energy with it. I rate that. So most of your things, right? Pieces is big on denim. What promoted this?
I feel like at the start I wanted to do something for the youth because you know I was in my early 20s at the time, and you know you're looking for stuff to do, but also stuff that you're like interested in actually doing. So for me, this was like, you know, stepping into that, and also just having a message for, you know, the youth as well. And denim is like, for time now, for decades, has been in the center of, you know, youth subculture, rebellion, you know, movements, you know, all of that. And yeah, I just thought it was a great place to be. And it's workable as well for me, like a fashion, artistic point of view.
Oh, that makes sense, I hear it. How long did it take you to get your recent capsule Solar Dreams project ready?
Like, I mean, when my agency mentioned it, it was probably in November last year. And then, but then it was just like, oh, this could potentially be a thing. And then by like, what month are we in now? August, so we're recently in July. So like February or March, March, we started it, and then 5 months in, February we started, 5 months in, we released in July.
So on an average, right, it takes you about 5 months for each project, or just this one specifically?
No, just this one specifically, because I feel like the Andre Chen, he's the creative director of Ex Ante Project, the brand I collaborated with. Him and his agent, they were very like, you know, specific about timelines. So we, you know, I feel like we hit that for the work we put out. That was quick. You know
so would you say on an average it takes you longer than 5 months or less?
Definitely longer than 5 months, a lot longer. Like, I mean, Iconic Rebel, like I made that in I started making that in 2019, and I only released that in like at the end of 2020.
That's a bit of time.
Or maybe even 2021. But yeah,
So how was it working with Glider for those grills? Because I've seen your pieces and they're real fire.
No, Glider, Joe, he's the owner of Glider Jewels. He's a fucking cool ass dude. I pulled up on him for like 2 other sets. I went with my boy T-Day. He was getting some grills for his music video. And then, you know, I got just some light just to test it out, because I never had grills before. But like, you know, when you're a kid, like you put foil in your mouth.
It's just something you want there.
You get what I mean? So I had those, but then the customer service was lit. You know, he was very like accommodating of like, you know, letting you know all your options and, you know, figuring out what the best option was for you. You feel me? So after I did that, then I had the Solar Dreams project, and I thought like it would be crazy to, you know, have some like custom jewelry in there. So I hit up Glider.
So for all the kids that still be putting foil in their mouth, right, you know where to get your grills from.
Glider, you already know.
Tell us about your London Fashion Week experience. How did it feel being invited to that?
That experience, it was an amazing experience. Stressful as always. Like Fashion Week is always very stressful, but even more so because it was a show as well. You know, there was a lot more than just making clothes. For instance, when you have like a pop-up, like the pop-ups we've done in like Fashion Week, that was stressful, but at the end of the day, it came together nicely. The turnout was amazing. The reception was lit, and then like loads of opportunities kind of rolled over from there.
Would you say you learned anything from that experience in regards to like the fashion industry?
Yes, of course, definitely. I feel like one of the main things is that you want to work with everyone. Like, it's different from like a pop-up where you're controlling most of the experience, you know. But I feel like with a fashion show, you have to kind of like work with, you know, the stylists on deck and everyone else.
All of that.
And I appreciate them.
From your point of view, how would you describe the current state of the fashion industry? You could choose to do it Nige and, you know, just overall.
I pay attention to, like, I feel like I'm like a regular consumer. Like, I like to keep my interests as they've always been, because those like essentially determine how I, you know, tackle, you know, or face my customers. You know, coming back to the idea of the name, even pieces, for me it was, I want to always create pieces. I personally would only buy pieces, you know, like interesting pieces in your closet or wardrobe or whatever. So I tried to only make shit that I would covet, basically. You know what I mean? You know when you're always searching some shit, you're like, oh damn, I want these shoes. And every day, at least 5 times a day, you're on that like link. You know, so I want to make pieces that have that, you know what I mean, effect on people. So yeah, so that's my take on fashion is very, you know, I wouldn't say basic, but I don't have too many opinions because there's so much fashion out there. But you know, I like what I like.
Yeah, I hear that. Okay, so Flair Fashion is equally doing well for the creatives. How did you run all of this so smoothly?
I feel like Pieces and Flair Fashion, we have such a great synergy in the sense that like from the moment they gave me the first opportunity to, you know, present my garments, I've always kind of like showed up, you know? And I feel like from one perspective of running a business, like you appreciate people who show up and do their best.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Without you having to like, you know,
constantly
exactly.
That,
Which, but I mean, you can build people, that's cool. But I feel like with us, we just understood the vision, both sides, and we knew that every opportunity was an opportunity to grow both ourselves, you know what I mean? So, and that's how we just keep pushing it.
Okay. So far, which collaborative project has stood out to you?
In terms of like the wider...
No, in terms of what you've done.
Or what I've done. Stood out to me. I love all my projects. Solo Dreams was like an interesting project because you know, I was working with an international designer, someone who is like very talented and well established in his own So, you know, that was you know, interesting. You know, he has an agent, had a whole team, and then you know you have to kind of stick to those checkpoints. You know, and then you know it was an amazing learning experience. Other projects I've had, Severe Nature was sick as well. MBDA was sick as well. You know, just working with people who have a drive towards that goal and see, you know, how it helps both parties. So it was beautiful.
I hear that. Okay, so this is probably the question that I'm most excited to ask. Which stars and celebrities have rocked pieces?
Tenny, the entertainer, and I are pretty cool. You know, so I've put her in some stuff. She owns a few pieces as well. I know Ladipo owns a few pieces, and Tide Sterling. Just like, you know, just my friends really. Like if they're artists, then and they fuck with my shit. You know.
I hear that. Okay, so my final question is, what's next for Pieces?
What is next? New collection. I started a blog. So I want to really like bring people along in more than just the visual appeal. You know, I feel like this whole creative push and creative consciousness is more than just fashion or music. It's like writing is part of it, photography, videography. So I want to be able to tap into all those different touch points and maintain that attention. So new blog, got a few writers on deck, really amazing writers. You know, trying to mix some shit. And then I have a new collection coming out where we will be presenting at Fashion Week, London Fashion Week in September, at the Waldorf in London, Mayfair. And then, just putting out more products,
You guys heard it here first. New collection drop in September, London Fashion Week. Y'all should be there. And just thank you for, you know, pulling up today. We really do appreciate it.
I appreciate the love and support, and we'll keep doing this shit. Fuck those called pieces.
So that's it for today's episode of Behind the Stitch. See you guys next time. Okay, so run me through the pieces you have here on display.
So this is our Project 2 collection. So I like to name each project based on, you know, so the first digit determines like what like type of garment it is. Second digit determines what collection it comes from, and then the other 2 digits determine what number in that collection it comes from.
Right.
So this is our project 681 up until 4.
Right.
I'm gonna add a lot more to it, and then we'll determine the order.
Yeah.
But you know, we did a dress rendition of the rock tees.
Right.
So you have some Guns N' Roses in here. Then we have something like Star Trek inspired Metallica as well.
Yeah.
Just something with a different fit. This specifically, you can wear it in 2 ways. It's like a poncho,
right.
but you can also have it like a sleeveless where your arms come through here, and then, you know, it gives you a bit of body. Then this is just, you know, like a version 2
right.
of a piece that we've put out for time now. And this is sleeveless version of the same thing. And this one, you know, Harley Davidson, Chavo Guerrero, you know, just fucking cool
I
shit.
like the blend you have to the pieces in regards to like different designs and shit.
You already know. So we have...
It's the denim section,
Yeah, denims and some flannels. I feel like I tried to... So this is from 5/8/01 to 3.
Right.
Because that's the flannel collection, the 8th collection. With this one, I tried to... You know, I tried to make this a bit rough. This is a bit of view, still fresh as well. Yeah. A bit cleaner, but then still like the same artistic thing, you feel me? These pants, you know, I like to, so I've been fucking with flannel, like materials, like plaid, checkered stuff a lot. So this is actually a sample. Yeah. I feel like the final product will definitely be a lot more put together than this, but you know, we're still working.
Right.
This is like extendo denim. I presented this at the London Fashion Week showcase, and you might remember it maybe in a different color, because that's something I do. I like to like edit our pieces. Right. You know,
give different variations.
You get what I mean? Like even just I might learn something new, and like I'm like, yo, I have some other pieces in the back. Let me put that on there. So this is a product of that. Yeah. That's pretty much it. And then what I'm wearing as well. I had to keep this one for myself. Like I ain't even, because usually I change the necks on this, because obviously like it's vintage tee. You want to give people that like renewed feel. But like I personally like this, you know, the essence vintage thing. So I kept this for myself.
Okay. Yeah. So we've run through the, you know, the collections available. I know a lot of you have seen things you like. Don't be afraid to hit them up.